Let me play you Slammed. Because it was inspired by Alex Sachs's Deposition. And you know how like the lawyer kept changing like the kept changing the what was happening with the chair. So here's Slammed.
You said he yelled at me. I don't remember exactly what he said. He yelled something and slammed his hands down on the director's chair next to me and walked away. Slammed his hands down. Stop, rewind, slam the chair. Stop, rewind, slam the chair to the ground. Who's doing revisionist history now? You said if he does something like that to me one more time, I'm going to walk off the movie. Well, you never walked off the movie, did you? So I'm gonna guess he never did again. Slam his hands down. Stop, rewind, slam the chair. Stop, rewind, slam the chair to the ground. Who's doing revisionist history now? You don't remember what he said in June, but you could do a play-by-play of what Jenny said in May. That's convenient. Slam his hands down. Stop, rewind, slam the chair. Stop, rewind, slam the chair to the ground. Who's doing revisionist history now? Slam his hands down. Stop, rewind, slam the chair. Stop, rewind, slam the chair to the ground. Who's doing revisionist history now?
Yeah. But that is Slammed. Which I actually really love the song. I love just how they kept changing. Well, I don't love how they kept changing it. From like he smashed his hands down on the chair to he slammed the chair. Now it's like he slammed the chair to the ground. Like they were doing too much. It's like, stop it. He didn't do all that. You know what I mean? Maybe he did, but no, he couldn't. They had to pick which one. They have to pick which one. They can't just keep saying he did all this stuff, you know. And the fact that she could not remember, you know what I mean? She couldn't remember anything he said. I was like, you mean you can't remember anything he said in June, but you can remember everything that Jenny Slate said in May? But somebody brought up the one thing that she couldn't remember was the whole fan thing. And how convenient was that? So, out of ideas for all of this for you, Watchy, Heath singing one of your love songs. Heath singing, like from my own personal one. We are We're Gonna Be All Right album. Yeah, that's what you meant by vague and specific. Yeah. Geo said, I found AS Depo Inky or Icky. Two bad-mouthing colleagues, petty and selective memory. Bella said, how do you not remember what he told you? Yeah. Can I please hear the extortion song? Yes, you can hear extortion. This is extortion.
I gave you my sub story, had you eating out of the palm of my hand. I made you think I wanted to collaborate when I was planning to take you down, then take over. Take over, girls, my co-conspirators. Get on the dance floor, let everyone know it's rules for you, not for me. It's extortion to you, not to me. I'm just hard bargaining. No one says no to me. Don't you know who I am? So when I asked for those dailies, there wasn't a question. Take over, girls, my co-conspirators. Get on the dance floor, let everyone know it's the rules for you, not for me. It's extortion to you, not to me. I'm just hard bargaining. I made you think everything was fine while I was plotting your demise. If I didn't get my way, you never saw it coming. Take over, girls, my co-conspirators. Get on the dance floor, let everyone know it's the rules for you, not for me. It's extortion to you, not to me. I'm just hard bargaining. I invited you over on January 4th. Told you I would be fine if it was just you. Can you imagine if you decided it would just end up being you? Take over, girls, my co-conspirators. Get on the dance floor, let everyone know it's the rules for you, not for me. It's extortion to you, not to me. I'm just hard bargaining. My co-conspirators. Get on the dance floor, let everyone know it's the rules for you, not to me. It's extortion to you, not to me. I'm just hard bargaining.
You think it should be called Takeover Girls? I mean, if that is the title, it's such an interesting thing too, because people talk about like how like there's some songs where the title is not what people remember. Like they think that the title is something else because a different word is like what stands out to them. So I mean, there is value to say that. Is it better to call it the Takeover Girls? Takeover Girls, because is that what sticks out and is memorable? I think I the reason I called it extortion was it's actually somebody. So there's two things. So somebody had talked about Takeover Girls, and also talked about extortion, and I melted those things together because the person said you should create a song that's called Extortion, and what prompted it was like the memory of a person requesting, her name is Jen on YouTube, requested something about Takeover Girls, and so that's why I ended up with that. So yeah. Oh, sorry. You know, it's a very weird thing, Legally Latina, about the whole Christy Hall thing, wanting to direct, because something stuck out to me about that whole thing. So if you look at Alex Sachs's deposition, it's let's see. Hold on. Okay. It says, do you recognize Exhibit 11 as a text exchange between you and Miss Giannetti on June 15th, 2024? Oh, it's 2024? Interesting. Is that right? That's not a typo? Interesting. I thought it was 2023, y'alls. I thought it was 2023, but it's June 15th, 2024. Now that changes things for me. It says, do you recognize Exhibit 11 as a text exchange between you and Miss Giannetti on June 15th, 2024? Alex says yes. Question, at 2:19 p.m., Miss Giannetti says, call me. And later on, at 2:53, you write, she asked you. Did you get any details back then? Did you get any details back then? And you respond, Justin was very dismissive of her when she wanted to direct, and then used Jamie to try and manipulate her when he realized she could co-direct it after. Wait, no. Justin was very dismissive of her when she wanted to direct, and then used Jamie to try and manipulate her when he realized she could co-direct it after she got Daddy-O going. Do you see that? Yes. Do you recall what this text was in reference to? No. Do you recall if you and Miss Giannetti had a conversation about concerns raised by Christy Hall with respect to Mr. Baldoni being dismissive of her? Yes. Now I know what it's about. What do you recall with respect to Miss Hall's concerns, if any, about Mr. Baldoni? That initially he was dismissive of her wanting to direct. I don't remember much more than that. You write at 2:54, and then she felt like he tried to use her for cover with Blake and Colleen a bunch. Do you have an understanding of what you were referencing there? Yeah, that she was the female writer, and he would say, that he wanted to give her the chance to write her way in, etc. It was your impression that Miss Hall was concerned with Mr. Baldoni using her as a cover with Blake and Colleen with regard to the script? I guess so. At 2:55, you wrote, as read, she just doesn't want to be associated with him/them. Yes. What is that in reference to? That is that she didn't want to be associated with Justin and Wayfarer. With Justin and Wayfarer? I mean, yeah. Miss Hall did not want to be associated with Mr. Baldoni or with Wayfarer? I believe so. Did you know why? I believe because of everything I wrote previously. Miss Hall has shared with you that she did not want to be associated with Mr. Baldoni or Wayfarer? Yes. Did Miss Hall also share with you, as you expressed at 2:57 p.m., she didn't feel respected as a female voice on the team, and on a movie like this, that felt especially bad? Yes. At 2:59, Miss Giannetti writes, just so many things stacking up, people are so upset or pissed off about. I cannot believe how they just keep coming. You respond, I think this is where narcissism is dangerous. Do you see that? Yes. Is this in reference to, is your comment regarding narcissism in reference to Mr. Baldoni? Yes. Did you believe Mr. Baldoni to be a narcissist? As a non-physician? Yes. Based on what? All the behavior I had witnessed for the preceding year and a half. Was it your experience that so many things kept stacking up that people were upset or pissed about with respect to Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath's behavior? Can you repeat the first part? Sorry. Was it your experience that so many things kept stacking up that people were upset or pissed about with respect to Mr. Baldoni or Mr. Heath's behavior? Yeah. At 3:01, you write, it's only when Jamie, this isn't fair nonsense, and revisionist history comes up that I'm like, come on, guys. What did you mean by Jamie, this isn't fair nonsense and revisionist history? I would assume it's we didn't do anything wrong as opposed to remembering what happened. It was Mr. Heath and Mr. Baldoni's attitude that they didn't do anything wrong that you were referring to as revisionist history? I believe so. At 3:01, you write, him and Jamie have a way of making women feel like not great. Do you see that in some men? Yes. And some men, yes, which is an interesting thing. She says, and some men, yes. And some men, yes. Is the some men Ryan Reynolds? Was Ryan Reynolds feeling less than? Was he feeling this tiny? Or this tiny? Anyways, was it your experience that Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath had a way of making women on the set feel not the greatest? a couple that came to me that you've talked about. We've talked about, and myself, yes. And you felt like it was deep because Mr. Baldoni, Mr. Heath wrote the checks, yes. And it was deep for you because Mr. Baldoni, Mr. Heath wrote the checks, right? Yes. And they made you not feel great, yes. If you go down the message at 303, please, you write, I remember you calling me around 2 one night being like, what the F? Because so much of it was these minuscule microaggressions. Do you see that? Yes. Was it your experience that Mr. Heath and Mr. Baldoni continued to engage in microaggressions during the second stage of filming? From what I remember, it was much better on the second round, but I will be honest, I don't remember with great specificity. My question is interesting that they talk about microaggressions. Again, there's definitely I can say that there's issues, but y'all's the reason I'm like shooketh, and I'm still reading this, right? But the reason I am shooketh, I thought this was June 15, 2023, but this was June 15, 2024. You know what I'm saying? The timetable. You know what I'm saying? Colleen Hoover talks to Brandon Sklenar, that talks to Alex Sachs, and now Alex Sachs is not talking to Jamie, even though he reaches out. This is a book bonanza, dudes. Blake did a number. Blake did some poisoning. And it's so interesting because in her MSJ, she makes a point to say, makes a point to say that she had never met Christy Hall. I'm trying to remember which document that was, where she makes it a point to say she's never met Christy Hall. As if to say, I didn't poison the well with her. You know? Because that is wild. You know what? I was hoping to do the deposition with Elsridge for Justin, but I haven't read it, and I'm really wanting to now at this point. Carol, even though would you be willing? Because I want to know. And now, hey, because now I want to know. Like, can we read the highlighted stuff that you had?
Yeah.
Because I'm a little bit like I feel bad because I told Elsridge I wanted to read this with her, but if she's not she's busy right now. Unless I missed something. Hold on, let me check my text messages to make sure I didn't miss anything. Look at my stuff. So she's probably tired. I mean,
also when her kid goes to school, I could do it with her too during the day to make it up to her.
well, tomorrow.
Okay, hold on. Let me make sure. Woohoo! Okay.
I will tell you though, like, it's wild to me to realize that she's texting all of this at Book Bonanza.
That's wild.
I mean, to me, honestly, it reasserts the colluding.
I don't see how it could be any other way, you know?
I can't see how it can be any other way.
It's like, I could see why they are, like you could just see where their shift is. And the only way you get that reaction is if you say enough to make the other person feel so uncomfortable about the information you just gave them, you know? And so I just think that they were doing something like that.
100%. I mean, right when I realized they were talking about June 15, see, here's the thing. When I thought it was June 15, 2023, I thought that's interesting that she was trying to direct right when she was asking to be the director right when the strike happened, and they had to end the filming. You know, they couldn't okay. Well, at least they thought that they were going to end it. You know what I mean? And then they ended up not. They ended up filming more.
Okay, I'm ready. Hold on. I'm pulling up the document. Just 1 second.
Yeah. So Book Bonanza was June 14, and so it was the day after Book Bonanza. But I think that also is the reason why that's when they started documenting immediately. Because that takeover, they're like, oh my word, she's really turning everybody against him.
That's wild. I'm like,
Alex Sachs didn't say she's never met Christy Hall. Blake Lively in one of her filings said that in parentheses.
And I'm wondering if Christy Hall like believed whatever story that she's hearing until it's all unraveling and saying like, you know, all the rewriting was Blake. Like maybe she heard a different version of that. You know, and maybe that's why she was saying that about Justin, like, oh, she never took my voice, he never blah, 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 when she wasn't there to see what was happening.
Maybe.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, let me see. Okay, so who do you want to be? Do you want to be Justin or do you want to ask the questions?
Let's see. No, they look pretty even. The question has more readings down, like at the beginning, but the answers have more later on. Which one do you want?
Oh, I have no preference.
Okay, I'll be Justin then.
Okay, you start off.
Oh, wait, I'll be the attorney.
Oh, okay. So we're starting on page 3 of 31 or whatever, 3 of...
Yeah.
So
19.
4 hours, it might have been 4 days, but for 4 hours or so each day, including like lunches and bathroom breaks.
Were these in person or Zoom sessions?
In person. And then a whole lot of redactions. And then
okay. Did you review any documents to help you prepare for the deposition? And Shapiro says just yes or no.
Yes.
Ms. Shaw says, did any of these documents help refresh your recollection of memory of the events that you'd be testifying here today?
No.
Okay. Are you aware of whether all the documents you reviewed in preparation for this deposition were produced in this case?
I would assume so.
Okay, did you go back through your phone in preparation for this deposition and review anything on your phone?
No.
You've attended either by Zoom or in person some of the other depositions that have taken place in this case. Is that right? And then it skips.
These days.
Okay. So, do you use Apple iMessage to communicate, right? Text message?
Yeah.
Do you use email to communicate?
I get a lot of emails, but I'm not good at responding to them. I do respond at times, but it's generally pretty short.
Do you use WhatsApp messaging to communicate?
I'm on WhatsApp threads with various people.
Do you use Signal to communicate?
Since the lawsuit, I do, yeah.
Before the lawsuit?
No.
Since the lawsuit? Since the lawsuit, who have you used Signal to communicate with?
Mostly my attorneys, the people that are the defendants, some friends.
Do you use Telegram to communicate?
No.
Do you ever send voice notes?
Yeah.
Do you ever record phone calls that you're a participant in?
I certainly have from time to time.
Do you do that frequently?
No.
Did you ever record any phone calls or Zooms with the participants in this case?
In which case exactly?
Either the Blake Lively case or the Stephanie Jones case.
Yes.
How many times would you estimate you recorded the phone calls or Zooms?
2 to 4, maybe 4 times, maybe. Might be 3.
Am I correct to understand that's 4 times ever that you recorded phone calls or Zooms with any of the participants or witnesses or people involved in the events that underlie either one of these litigations?
I don't do it often, so I imagine it was around 4, 2 to 4. I'd have to take a lot of pausing to really think about that, which I think is between 2 to 4. Why don't we say 4?
How about in-person meetings? And Shapiro says objection.
One that I can think of.
What is that one?
I recorded an improv acting session between Jenny Slate and Miss Lively.
That you were also a participant in?
I was.
Where were you located when you recorded that?
At our production offices in Hoboken, New Jersey.
Where was Miss Slate located?
In New Jersey.
She was with you?
Yeah.
Where was Miss Lively located?
I assume she was at her house, which is in New York.
Other than one in-person meeting, can you think of any other in-person meetings that you recorded that involved any of the participants in the events underlying these cases, or had anything to do with these events underlying these cases? And Shapiro says objection.
At the moment, I can't.
Are you aware that your counsel produced to us last night 4 recordings? And Shapiro says objection to the extent it calls for the information provided by your attorneys. That appear to be recordings by you or phone calls or in-person meetings having to do in this case. And then Shapiro says same objection.
I would imagine that they would. Okay, he already said 4. So why is this is this supposed to be a surprise? Surprise! The number you
It's probably a
gave me
surprise
is
to them.
correct.
Because his deposition wasn't until the 9th. So this is like last minute squeezing in stuff that they probably didn't know they had.
Did you know? And it's like, yes, I just told you that number. Anyways, okay.
Okay. Are you aware that they were produced last night? And Shapiro says objection, directing you not to answer anything to the extent it calls for information you only know from your attorneys.
I can't answer.
Are you going to follow your counsel's instruction?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recall recording a phone call between you and any of the following? Ange Giannetti, Josh Greenstein, or Todd Black?
Ange Giannetti. I don't know if Todd Black was on it, but I know Ange. Yeah.
Tell me, what do you recall about that phone call with Ange?
I haven't listened to them. What I recall is feeling scared and almost feeling like what was happening was like I needed a witness, because what was happening was just it felt kind of crazy, but I don't remember the content of the call. I assume it had to do with figuring out how to get through a difficult shoot.
What was it at the time that felt kind of crazy to you?
I don't know exactly what call or when it was recorded, so I don't know if I can answer that without more details.
Do you remember why you recorded that call?
Again, I just need to know what call you're referring to.
Do you have a memory of a call that you recorded with Ange Giannetti?
I have a vague memory, yes.
with respect to that call that you have a vague memory of, do you have any recollection of why you recorded that call?
I think I felt powerless and scared and kind of lonely, I think.
What did you intend to do with that recording?
Nothing. I didn't know if I would ever need it one day.
Have you needed it?
I haven't looked at it or listened to it, so apparently not.
Did you tell her that you were recording the call?
I didn't.
Where were you located when you recorded that call?
I don't know. I would have to know the date of the recording and then I could try to reverse engineer it.
From your vague memory of doing this, give me your best estimate of where you were located.
Objection. No, just kidding.
No.
I don't know.
Is it possible that you were in California and Shapiro says objection?
It's absolutely possible.
Where was Ange located when you recorded that call?
I assume she was in California.
Do you have memory of recording any calls with Josh Greenstein?
No.
Do you have a memory of recording any calls with Todd Black?
Only if Todd were on a call with Ange.
Where is Todd Black located? And Shapiro says objection.
Like right now?
No, in general. Where does he live and work?
He's often in New York. I believe he lives in LA, but he's often shooting movies.
Does he maintain an office in LA?
I don't know.
Do you want to finish your question? Oh, wait, does it jump?
Oh, yeah, I jumped.
Oh, no, yeah, it jumps.
Do you want to finish your question?
No, it's all right.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I know, it's all right. I was trying to ask a better question, but I think
Do you mind re-asking the question?
other than the one call we've spoken about in Ange Giannetti, do you recall recording any other calls?
Yes.
Okay, please tell me about these.
I recorded a part of a... This is what people were talking about! I recorded a part of a call with Shawn Levy.
Who is Shawn Levy?
Shawn Levy's a director and apparently a very close friend of Miss Lively and Mr. Reynolds.
What do you recall about that call?
I recall he wanted to speak to me, and as we began talking, I got the feeling that he was calling to kind of adjust or course correct, which made me feel a little uncomfortable.
Adjust or course correct from what?
I didn't know.
What do you mean when you say adjust or course correct? Just explain to me a little bit more, please.
It felt like he was being asked to call me, like he wasn't just calling to talk or check in.
And what was he calling you about?
The movie, It Ends With Us, and Miss Lively.
Was he calling you about the tensions that were arising in relation to the movie?
No.
So what about the movie It Ends With Us was he calling you about?
He was calling to give me advice, it appeared, on how to handle or navigate making a movie with Miss Lively.
When in time was this?
I could be wrong. I believe it was April of 2023.
Where were you located when you recorded this call?
At my office in New Jersey.
Where was he located when he was speaking to you on the call?
I don't know.
Did you inform him that you were recording the call?
I did not.
Other than these two calls we've now spoken about, one with Ange Giannetti and one with Shawn Levy, can you remember any other phone calls that you recorded?
It's not something I do often, so no, to be precise, I can't.
Does Jamie Heath often record calls to your understanding?
I'm unaware of what Jamie does on his own time. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Wait,
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does Jamie Heath ever record phone calls in this course of his work for Wayfarer to your understanding?
I don't know. I know he has, but I don't know if it's a regular practice.
How do you know he has?
Because I'm aware of at least a recording.
Which recording is that?
I'm aware of a recording of a WME agent or conversation that happened.
And then it skips.
Okay, so then these ones are ones we've read. So we'll just go to page 72.
Yeah. Okay. Text messages with Blake.
No.
Text messages with Stephanie Jones.
I don't believe I shared any of those with Mitz. No.
Text messages with Abel.
No.
Text messages with Melissa Nathan.
I didn't have any text messages with Melissa Nathan.
Text messages with whom then?
My memory, text messages with my health coach. Text messages with Dawn Saladino.
Who is your health coach?
Jennifer Benson.
What does she generally do for you?
She's not my current health coach.
What would she generally do for you when she was your health coach?
She tried to keep me healthy.
How?
Supplements, peptides, helping my immune system.
What about your text message with your health coach did you believe at that time would help you explain the truth of what happened? Give me just 1 second. Sorry. The truth of what happened.
Okay, so these are ones that we've read already, these pages?
Yeah.
Okay, then let's skip. I love these pages.
I know.
page
The little flip.
Yeah.
Okay, 151.
Yeah. I'm unaware of any allegations of onset abuse.
To this day, you're unaware of any allegations against you on
I
of
feel like we
onset
read this,
abuse. This one?
Yeah, I feel like we read this on another live. But we'll still read it.
Oh, we can skip it.
Okay, let's skip it. Because I feel like we've read this.
Hold on, I can double check.
Well, no, because, I mean, honestly, like, I think with Elsridge.
Oh, like you guys read it? So that, yeah, 151 to 183. You're right. I think that's what Elsridge read to us or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's 151 to 183.
Okay.
So it's a lot. So
yeah, this is when I was really sad.
oh, okay. So that's yes, because this is like 30 pages, and I remember. Oh yeah, yep. We read this already.
Yep, it's
Okay.
this when she finds out that they were saying stuff. Yeah. Okay. So then we'll oops back. So we could do page 255.
Let's see. Yeah. Revised at any point in time?
I don't.
Okay, to your best recollection, you only recall seeing one version of a scenario planning document. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you remember that you didn't see any other versions, or you just don't remember one way or another? And Shapiro says objection.
I don't believe I saw a second version.
Okay, after you were provided with a scenario planning document, describe for me the series of events to your recollection in terms of how you came to hire Tag, and Shapiro says objection.
Forgive me, can you ask one more time?
Sure. At some point after you received the scenario planning document for Tag, you ultimately hired Tag, right?
The company did, yes.
Yes. Is it your testimony that Wayfarer hired Tag?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Do you have an understanding of whether you personally also hired Tag?
I don't think I personally hired anyone.
Okay. And when Wayfarer hired Tag, what was your understanding of what Tag was being brought on to do?
My understanding was that Tag was being brought on to be crisis public relations representative.
Was that to your understanding? Was Tag given any instructions by you or by Wayfarer in terms of how to proceed once you had hired them?
I believe so. I believe that Jamie was in communication with them.
And do you know what those instructions were?
I can only speak to the instructions that I gave Jamie or at any time spoke to Jen or on the calls, which was to plan and to just try to get good press out there for the movie.
How involved were you personally in the discussing with anyone at Tag the type of PR strategy you all should be employing?
I don't know. I think I had ideas. I'm not sure how many conversations were happening versus what ideas I was sharing. I was kind of in and out.
Do you have any recollection of any ideas you had that you shared with Tag?
I mean, I really wanted to focus not just Tag, but also Jennifer Abel. I really wanted to focus on amplifying the voices of survivors. I wanted to focus on the DV. I wanted to focus on the movie and not all of the speculation and drama.
Did you personally ever have any conversations with Stephanie Jones about the instructions that Wayfarer was given Tag in terms of how to proceed?
I don't think I had any real conversations with Stephanie Jones outside of texting through July and August.
Do you recall ever communicating with Stephanie Jones, whether on text or in conversation, about the instructions that Wayfarer had given Tag about how to proceed?
I don't believe so. My memory of texts with Stephanie Jones were focused on letting her, and then it stops there. So 285.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know.
Okay, other than reporting what was going on at the time about Mr. Reynolds or Miss Lively had said about this, do you have any other basis to understand what they had actually said?
I'm not sure.
Okay, was this also part of the scenario planning that you were discussing?
I'm unsure.
How does flipping the narrative in the way that it suggests here reconcile with the view that you should be putting out only positive stories?
Because it has to do with a defensive measure. So if we're talking about something that was an offensive measure, then flipping an existing narrative would not be us doing anything offensively. It would be us defending. And again, this was me passing something on.
Do you recall testifying earlier about whether Melissa Nathan ever encouraged you to leave Jones' work with Jen Abel and Jen Abel left?
At this point, I remember some of that, and I would love for you to refresh my memory more. Okay. And it's there. So page 38.
Yeah, this is the second day.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess this is me. We've become numb to it, and I'm speaking generally as a we, collective we, in order to have more of a shock effect. And I think that's where Hollywood has gone and made like sex has just become just something that you expect to see oftentimes. That doesn't actually have to do with the storyline, or I don't know if it necessarily moves the plot forward. So in that sense, I guess I would agree. And I think that in general, Hollywood doesn't make movies for the soul much anymore. It doesn't mean there are certain people that do, but I'm just saying it's definitely become much more about attention and money and just competing with other places for people's attention, and whatever can shock them the most is what wins.
And you found Wayfarer to be different from what you just described, is that right? And Shapiro says objection.
I did.
You founded Wayfarer to be lights in the darkness, is that correct?
That was part of the mission.
You, in founding Wayfarer, said that in Steve Sarowitz you had resources and a partner who shared values and beliefs. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Do you recall saying about Wayfarer Studios that you and Mr. Heath were making a concerted effort to build a spiritual enterprise in every sense of the word, where everybody is free to have their own beliefs and express opinions that may be different from executives or the shareholders, where there is true unity and equality across the board, and where we're mindful of the positions of power and those power dynamics work and how those power dynamics work?
Was the question, do I remember saying that?
Do you remember saying that?
It sounds more like something I've written. I'm not sure if it.
Does it sound like something you would write or say?
I don't know if I'm that eloquent when I speak, but it sounds like it's definitely in line with something that I believe or aspire to.
If I told you that that quote appeared out of the publication on BahaiTeachings.org entitled Wayfarer Studio Aims to be the Light in the Darkness, would that refresh your recollection at all? And Shapiro says objection.
That would confirm it was probably something that I wrote versus I said.
Okay. And do you believe that you have created spiritual enterprise where everyone is free to have their own beliefs and express their own opinions that may be different from the executives or the shareholders? And then Shapiro says, objection.
Do I believe I've created it?
Along with others, do you believe in Wayfarer Studios you've achieved that objective?
To be very frank, I don't know that it's something that could ever be fully 100% achieved. I know we strive for it, but I wouldn't be comfortable saying we've achieved it.
Okay, you've strived for it.
Strived, yeah.
Okay, and in creating the culture at Wayfarer Studios, do you believe that you have tried to be mindful of the positions of power and how those power dynamics work? And Shapiro says, objection.
Again, it's something that we strive for. Not perfect at, but strived.
As the director of It Ends With Us, do you believe you had more power than members of the cast or crew that were not directors? And Shapiro says, objection.
In thinking about power dynamics, yes.
And you supervised essentially everyone who was on the set, directly or indirectly. Is that right? And Shapiro says, object.
I'm not sure if I would consider that my role as a director.
Were you ultimately responsible for what happened on the set of It Ends With Us? And Shapiro says, objection.
I wouldn't put that solely on the director, no, but I was partly
I didn't ask if you
responsible.
were the only person. And then Shapiro says, can you not interrupt his answer? And Gottlieb says, you're right. Finish your answer. I apologize.
Oh, I just said I don't think I was the only person responsible, but I was part of that responsibility, of course.
Okay, so I'm not asking if you were the only person who was responsible, but as a director, are you ultimately responsible for what occurs on the set of your movies? And Shapiro says, objection.
I'm not sure that I would completely agree with that, the way that question is framed.
Okay, what is it about the question that you disagree with and the framing of that question?
I just think that the premise is off.
What piece of the premise is off?
One of the director's jobs is to bring on a great team, and each of those team members have responsibilities. I think it would be impossible for a director to manage everybody. So there are department heads and producers and executive producers and all kinds of various jobs that each have people reporting under them and that each have their own responsibility. So like if something happened to an extra, I don't know if that's ultimately the director's responsibility. If the catering was cold that day, I don't know if that's a director's responsibility. If a stunt person was killed, oh, I don't know if he said that because of Ryan Reynolds, but I'm not saying he did, but that just kind of made me think of Ryan Reynolds. Sorry. If a stunt person was killed, I don't know if that's the director's responsibility. There is a stunt department. So that's what I mean by that premise, at least my understanding of what you were asking.
Well, what about what the director does? And then Shapiro says, objection. And then he says, who is responsible for that?
Could you be more specific?
Well, the director is not responsible for the caterers or the stunt doubles, but what about the director? Is the director responsible for what the director does?
Yes, of course. I was just answering your question to the best that I could.
Okay, so we can at least agree that as a director of It Ends With Us, you were responsible for what you did on the set.
I was responsible for a lot, yeah.
What you did, what some other people did, and we'll have to define as we go through the day, but not everything. Is that fair? And Shapiro says, objection.
Not solely responsible for everything, but responsible, of course. I'm the director.
Okay, did Wayfarer Studios have policies and procedures that were in place during the filming of It Ends With Us? And Shapiro says, objection.
Policies and procedures?
Any policies and procedures that were in place?
I believe so.
And are you aware these policies and procedures applicable to you as the director of the film to the best of your knowledge? And Shapiro says, objection.
You have to be more specific on what policies and procedures that you mean.
Okay. And the stenographer says Exhibit 20 for the record. Exhibit 20 marked for identification. Mr. Baldoni, you've been handed a document marked Exhibit 20. It's a document bearing the dates Wayfarer 139046 through 139076. And you can take a look. It's a lengthy document.
Am I on this document?
Take a look through the first few pages, and the first thing I'm going to ask you is if you recognize it. And then I will ask you more questions. Mr. Baldoni, I think you've now had a chance to look at the cover letter.
Yes.
And the table of contents?
I haven't looked at all the table of contents of it.
You flipped through it?
Would you like me to look at them?
There's not going to be a quiz on it, I promise.
Sure.
The main thing, the first thing I want to ask you is, have you ever seen this? Not the text change that's on the front, but the employee handbook that begins on the page with the Bates number 139049 on it.
I believe years ago, yes.
Okay, you and Mr. Sarowitz signed off on the introductory letter to this handbook, is that correct?
Our names are on there, so yes, we do.
You are the co-chairman of the studio, is that correct?
That is correct.
There is no other chairman of the studio. Studio you're aware of. And Shapiro says objection.
Just Steve Sarowitz and myself.
What are your responsibilities that go along with being, to the best of your understanding, the co-chairman of Wayfarer Studios?
My responsibilities?
Any responsibilities that you believe apply to you?
My responsibilities are to help select and pick who I believe, along with my co-chairman, to be the best managers for the company, to help the company in its creative direction, more bird's eye view of ideally where we're going, and then to consult with the CEO and president and upper management. And my specific responsibilities are also to help with creative for the various projects that we have.
Okay.
Based on my time.
You see in the cover letter that you and Mr. Sarowitz have written for this handbook a reference to the Wayfarer Studios being a Baha'i-inspired organization.
I see that, yes.
We were talking a little bit about that before. It's not a...
Yes.
This is consistent with what you previously testified to, and Ms. Shapiro says objection.
Yeah, I did not remember. We had many conversations about actually not calling it a Baha'i inspired organization. So I think legally we did not. And that was mostly because we didn't ever want to make anybody feel like they were working at a religious company. So I believe an early version of this did not have it on there, which is where my memory was coming from. But I do see it here, and I don't deny that.
Okay, are you aware of a later version of this handbook in which that was removed?
I'm not aware of a later version. I imagine this is the most recent version. I believe there have been many different versions of this various letter over the years.
And you say legally you were not a Baha'i-inspired organization? I'm not going to be asking you for your legal opinions during this deposition.
No.
What are you saying?
It was just in the starting of an organization as it relates to the Baha'i faith. We did not want our company to in any way be a part of the Baha'i faith as an organization.
I see.
So that's essentially what I mean, is that because the Baha'i faith's internal government, if you will, is different than maybe like the Catholic Church or other Christian organizations, there is a Baha'i organization that actually is a government in the Baha'i faith. And we did not want a company to legally be tied or associated with an official Baha'i organization.
I understand.
So that was the debate and the conversation around like a Baha'i-inspired organization and what that actually means.
Okay, do you see where you've written with Mr. Sarowitz, this handbook has been written to serve as a guide for our relationship in the various work rules?
Yes.
And then do you see, if you flip a page over in the table of contents, there's a series of categories. I'm looking, sir, at page 139050. There is a list of categories of different types of rules that apply to employees of the company.
Are you looking at employment underneath employment?
I'm just asking you if you see the table of contents, a bunch of different categories of policies, procedures, and rules
Yes, I do.
that apply to the company.
I do see that.
Okay, if you flip ahead to page 5 of this document, which is Wayfarer 139053, do you see at the top of the page equal employment opportunities, anti-discrimination, anti-harassment, anti-retaliation policy at the top?
Yes, I do.
And have you ever read this policy?
I don't know if I've read this one. No.
And don't know, or you think you haven't?
The policy that is directly in front of me, I don't know if I have read this policy.
Okay, so you don't know if you've ever had any kind of training on this policy, this anti-discrimination, anti-harassment, anti-retaliation policy.
Yes, I believe I have.
When was that?
I think every couple of years.
When was the last time you attended one?
In person?
Virtually, no, at all? Virtually or in person? Oh, I think this one was not a new one, huh?
I do remember this. Virtually, I completed mine last week.
Okay, hold on, let me see. Oh, that's the last one. Okay, so we can skip this to number 54.
Okay.
Okay, it's talking about the presentation. It's like, was there a presentation?
Yes.
Do you agree with it?
Yes.
You've done your best to follow it.
I've done my best to follow it. Yes.
Do you see the long list of characteristics that under the Wayfarer Studios policy are protected? Ms. Shapiro says objection.
May I read it?
Sure thing.
I've read this paragraph.
Okay, you've read the paragraph that lists out the protected characteristics, correct?
Yes,
You see that gender is protected.
I do.
You see that sex is protected.
Yes,
And you see that further includes pregnancy, breastfeeding, childbirth.
I do.
Do you see the height and the weight are also protected characteristics?
Oh, really? Height, weight, and yes.
And do you see in the next line down after the paragraph, the sentence says, as read, all Wayfarer Studio employees, officers, principals, agents, workers, and representatives are prohibited from engaging in unlawful discrimination, harassment, or retaliation.
Yes.
And you were an officer of Wayfarer Studios, is that correct?
As co-chairman, I believe I am.
And you were also an agent or employee because you were hired to be the director of It Ends With Us, and Shapiro says objection.
Yes.
And you certainly represented Wayfarer Studios in the roles as co-chairman, right?
I believe I am.
And in fact, you and Mr. Sarowitz are the highest people in the hierarchy of Wayfarer. Is that right? And Shapiro says objection.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the CEO and the upper management answer to you and Mr. Sarowitz. Is that right?
Ultimately, yes.
In other words, if you and Mr. Sarowitz decide, you had it with Mr. Heath, it's your decision whether to get rid of him, right?
Yes. Do you want to tell him or should I?
I think you should. It would go over smoother. So,
I was
do
saying
you
that
see that?
I read this in another live, and I was like, I did not expect that. Like, wink, wink, funny, funny.
Yeah. Because Justin is the one that initiated.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you see that one paragraph down from the sentence I just read, the anti-harassment policy?
Wait, where? Where are we?
After I think you should.
Oh, yeah. I see that.
And do you see where it says,
I have not read this, so
okay,
can I read it?
Yeah. Why don't you read that? I'm going to ask you questions about the next three paragraphs, and if you want to read the next three paragraphs, then I will ask you questions about them.
I think I've gotten through them now.
Okay. So back on the previous page, 5 of this document, in the start of the anti-harassment policy, do you see the sentence that reads, Wayfarer Studios prohibits harassment, disrespectful, or unprofessional conduct by any employee of the company, including supervisors, managers, and workers? Do you see that?
I do.
Do you understand what that means?
That we prohibit harassment by anybody at the company.
Okay, do you see when the sentence that starts with harassment may be verbal, written, or physical conduct?
I do.
Okay, so if you carry that sentence over to the next page, harassment may be verbal, written, or physical conduct. Go to in front of the ABC as read, that A has a purpose or effect of creating an intimidating, hostile or offensive working environment, or B has a purpose or effect of unreasonably interfering with an individual's work performance, or C otherwise adversely affects an individual's employment opportunities. Do you see the sentence?
I do.
Do you recall ever receiving training with respect to any of those concepts in the sentence that I just read to you?
I believe I do.
Do you recall receiving training that discussed the harassment can be a conduct that has either the purpose or the effect of creating a hostile or offensive working environment?
I do.
And do you see in the next paragraph, the sentence that reads, as read, sexual harassment includes harassment that is not necessarily sexual in nature. Do you see that?
Yes.
You've been trained on that concept.
I believe I have.
And you see further down there is another ABC here because of course we lawyers love to put ABCs into our documents. Do you see the subsection that says, as read, such conduct has a purpose or effect of substantially or unreasonably interfering with an individual's work performance by creating an intimidating, hostile, or offensive working environment? Do you see that?
I do.
Do you understand what that means?
I believe I do.
And you've been trained on that as well.
I believe I have.
Okay, do you see where it says, as read, sexual harassment may include a range of subtle and not so subtle behaviors?
Yes.
And it can include, as read, sexual jokes or innuendo, commentary about an individual's body, sexual prowess, or sexual deficiencies, or touching. Ms. Shapiro says objection. I know I left some words out,
Yeah.
but do you see the words that I read there
Yes.
in this policy?
Yes.
And you've been trained on this as well.
I believe I have.
And because of that training, you understand that the policy prohibits behavior that these effects that has these effects on employees regardless of whether those effects were intended. Is that right? And Shapiro says objection.
Y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I am fighting to stay awake. I'm so tired.
Oh my God, me too. I was
so I was like, what is happening? So it's page 61. I was like,
yeah, there's a lot of new pages here.
My eyes
so
were
this
like,
is
my eyes were closing, and I'm like, people are gonna witness me fall asleep just like that one time.
So the new pages before it skips goes to 63.
Okay, sounds good.
So before it skips, yeah. So we'll just mark this one 61.
Yeah, because I'm like I'm sleepy. Choose a closing song, and we can head out.
What do you guys want to hear? I'm kind of in my head is stuck the stop rewind.
You want slammed?
It's stuck. It's stuck in my head right now. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Sorry that I couldn't stay awake.
It's okay. Priorities today was getting this album out.
Yeah, I'm probably going to try to get these songs out if I stay awake.
That's great.
Slammed his hands down, stop, rewind, stop, rewind.
You did the song justice with that.
What?
You did the song justice with that.
The music's too loud. I can't hear.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
If he does something like that to me one more time, I'm going to walk off the movie. But you never walked off the movie, did you? So I'm gonna guess he never did again.
Slam his hands down, stop, rewind, slam the chair, stop, rewind, slam the chair to the ground. You did the song justice with this one. Oh, thanks, Carol. Who knew that a song about a chair could be so good?
You don't remember what he said in June, but you could do a play-by-play of what Jenny said in May. That's convenient. Slam his hands down, stop, rewind, slam the chair, stop, rewind, slam the chair to the ground. Who's doing revisionist history now? Slammed his hands down, stop, rewind, slam the chair, stop, rewind, slam the chair to the ground. Who's doing revisionist history now?
So once this album is put up, I'll let y'all know. But I'm going to try to upload it tonight and then close my eyes and sleep. Okay. Bye. Thanks for joining me.